Jake leases a car. Marcus buys the exact same ride. Both guys think they made the absolute smartest financial choice. Honestly, they are both completely wrong. Neither of them actually ran the math. Today, you and I are going to run those numbers. The gap is huge. Let's say both guys make $55,000 a year. They want the exact same $30,000 sedan. Same trim, same paint job. Both walk into the same auto dealership on the same afternoon. The difference is the paperwork. Jake signs a 36-month auto lease. $2,000 down, $299 a month. The salesman tells him he is getting an absolute steal. Low payments, brand new ride, full warranty. In 3 years, just toss the keys back and leave. Super simple. No strings attached. Or so it seems. Marcus signs a 60-month car loan at 6% interest. He drops $3,000 up front, paying $522 monthly. That is $223 more than Jake every single month. The salesman stays quiet. Marcus feels that financial pinch immediately. On day one, Jake keeps more cash. His car payment is lighter. He pulls off the lot, feeling like he completely beat the system. But here's the thing Jake does not realize yet. The actual structure of his deal is totally different from Marcus. It goes way deeper than just the monthly payment. Every single dollar Marcus spends buys him a piece of real equity. Every dollar Jake spends is just renting the vehicle over time. That one difference adds up to tens of thousands of dollars. For 3 solid years, Jake lives the dream. Factory fresh vehicle, that perfect new car smell, full bumper-to-bumper warranty. Engine starts acting up. Totally covered. Needs fresh brake pads under the warranty. Covered. Air conditioning completely dies in July. Also covered. His only real costs are the lease payment, auto insurance, and gas. That is it. Zero surprise. Zero stress. No massive mechanic bills dropping out of nowhere. But Marcus, totally different story. He pays $522 a month while watching his vehicle lose value in real time. The second his tires hit the street, that $30,000 car dropped to $27,000. Year 1 ends. It is worth $23,000. By year 2, maybe $20,000. Meanwhile, his auto loan balance sits right around $22,000. So for those first 2 years, Marcus owes way more than the vehicle is actually worth. We call that being underwater. Mentally, it feels awful. Every payment feels like throwing cash in a hole. Jake sees this struggle. Everyone around Marcus sees it too. The verdict looks super obvious. Jake made the smarter money move. Let's look at the actual numbers together at year 3. Jake paid $2,000 down, plus 36 payments of $299. That is over $12,000 total. Marcus paid $3,000 down, plus 36 months at $522. That totals nearly $22,000. So Jake spent about $9,000 less. On paper, he is winning this race by almost $10,000. Not a small gap at all. But year 3 is where everything completely flips. Jake finishes his lease term. He rolls back onto the dealership lot with 3 choices. Option 1, buy the vehicle at its residual value. That is the preset price the dealer locked in 3 years ago. For a $30,000 sedan that usually lands between $16,000 and $18,000. Option 2, just walk away. Hand over the keys, owing absolutely nothing. Option 3, lease another brand new vehicle and restart the cycle. Jake does what 80% of drivers do. He leases again. Fresh car, fresh contract, $2,000 at signing, $299 a month for 36 months. Back to month 1. The car odometer says 0, but his financial clock never stops. Now, let's check on Marcus. He is 36 months into a 60-month loan. He still faces 24 more payments. Frustrating, right? But here is the massive difference. Marcus has a finish line. He has it circled on the calendar. Every single check he cuts brings him one step closer to pure ownership, while every payment Jake makes just drags him closer to returning the car and starting completely over. This is the core truth about vehicle financing that the monthly payment trap completely hides from you. Leasing is an endless treadmill. Buying actually ends. On month 60, Marcus drops his very last payment. That is it. Totally done. The car is his. Title in hand. 0 car payments left. Moving forward, his only auto expenses are just basic insurance, gas, and routine vehicle maintenance. Figure $100 monthly for oil, tires, and small repairs. As for Jake, you and I know exactly where he is. Jake is still swiping his card for $299 every month. He hardly notices anymore. It is just normal life. I always warn people about this danger. Leasing normalizes a never-ending car payment. It turns into background noise, but it still drains cash. Let us look at the scoreboard together after 6 years. By now, Jake has wrapped up 2 full lease cycles. He paid $2,000 down and almost $11,000 in payments. Then, repeated that exact same cycle again, over $25,000. Jake owns 0, just receipts. Meanwhile, Marcus put $3,000 down, plus about $31,000 in auto loan payments. That is roughly $34,000 total. But Marcus has no monthly bill now, and he owns a $12,000 car. If I subtract that car value from his spending, Marcus has an effective cost around $22,000. For Jake, $25,000 spent, 0 assets. Marcus paid $22,000 out of pocket and actually owns the car in his driveway. The financial flip happened quietly. From this point forward, every single passing month makes Marcus richer and leaves Jake poorer. The monthly rate is exactly what the car dealership wants me to focus on. It is the flashy price online, or the bold print the auto salesman slides across his desk at you. But you and I know they never reveal the huge list of traps attached to that low price. First, mileage caps. Most standard auto leases only allow 10 to 12,000 miles each year. Sounds fair, right? Until I tell you the average driver covers over 13,000 miles a year. That means everyday people easily break their limits way before the contract even finishes. The penalty fee, usually 15 to 25 cents for every single mile you drive over the cap. If you go 5,000 miles over across a 3-year lease, you owe around $1,000 right on the spot. You only discover this trap at the very end. It just hits your final invoice like some random surprise tax. And wear and tear, the dealer closely inspects your car upon return. Remember that tiny door ding from the grocery store? Spilled coffee on the back seat, scraped the wheel during a clumsy parallel parking job, they will bill you for all of it. The leasing company gets to decide what normal wear means. Not me. My version of normal usually becomes their $300 charge. Then comes the disposition fee. Most people never notice this. If I return a leased vehicle without getting another one from the exact same dealer, they hit me with this fee. It is usually $400 just to process and flip the car. I am literally paying them to take their own car back. What if my life shifts mid-lease? Maybe I move to a busy city and no longer need to drive. Or I lose my job, or have a kid. Getting out early means I might owe the entire remaining lease balance anyway. No easy out. I am trapped. These hidden penalties do not appear in that $299 rate, but they arrive eventually. If I only roasted leasing today, I would be hiding the truth from you. Buying has very real expenses that people completely ignore. When the factory warranty dies after year 3 or 4, every single repair is my problem. Brakes grind down. Tires go bald. Badge snap. And the air conditioning usually quits on the absolute hottest summer day. Unlike a lease, I have nobody to call for help. I am paying a local mechanic or watching tutorials to fix it myself. Once the warranty drops, keeping a standard sedan running costs me about $1,500 a year, on average. Some years, I only pay for basic oil and tires. Other times, a $2,000 transmission failure totally wrecks my budget. That unpredictability is exactly what stresses car owners out. With leasing, I at least knew my fixed monthly bill. Plus, vehicle depreciation is a massive, very real threat. My $30,000 car becomes 20 grand in 2 years. All that equity just vanishes into thin air. It just evaporates. But the key difference is that depreciation slows down immensely after the first couple of years. A 5-year-old vehicle drops in value much slower than a brand new model. So holding on to it longer stops the bleeding. Time is always my best friend here. Let's look at how this whole story connects. Over 10 years, Jake has leased about 4 different vehicles. Every round cost him 12 grand in basic fees. Now add his mileage penalties, random damage claims, and those sneaky return fees across multiple cars, and Jake burned nearly $50,000 over a single decade. Let's look closely at year 10. Jake has no vehicle. Well, he drives one, but it definitely isn't his. It never was. Marcus paid 34 grand on his auto loan. Then he dropped another 10 to 14 grand on routine maintenance and repairs over the next 5 to 7 years. His total 10-year cost hits around 44 to 48,000. But he still has a vehicle parked out front. Sure, it is older, but it holds 4 to 6 grand in value. Bottom line, Marcus spent less and owns a real asset. Jake spent more and holds nothing. That decade gap runs between 15 and 25 grand, depending on lease terms, repair luck, and ownership length. And remember, that is just for one vehicle. The average person repeats this exact cycle 3 to 5 times throughout their adult life. Multiply that gap by 5, you are looking at a 6-figure lifetime wealth difference between chronic leasers and those who simply buy and hold. I would be completely lying if I said leasing never works. You and I both know certain scenarios heavily favor an auto lease. If you run a business or work for yourself, those lease payments often count as a partial or full tax write-off, depending on usage. That tax break easily erases the ownership gap. In those situations, leasing actually becomes the smartest financial move you can make. If you drive a luxury brand or high-performance vehicle, well, where out-of-pocket repair costs become absolutely brutal. A lease keeps you permanently safely tucked under warranty coverage. When an oil change runs $500 and brakes cost 4 grand, that active warranty holds serious cash value. Financing a BMW lease is a completely different game than leasing a Honda Civic. And say you take that $223 a month you save by leasing and drop it into an index fund earning 8 to 10%. Over a long timeline, you might theoretically come out on top, but that demands a level of discipline most people simply lack. Ask yourself honestly if you would truly invest that extra cash or just blow it. For everyday folks driving regular cars, buying and holding always wins. I know it is hardly an exciting answer. Nobody goes viral online for driving a paid-off sedan. But compound interest simply does not care about excitement. Jake and Marcus both hit that dealership, believing they made a smart financial move. Jake really thought he saved cash. Marcus assumed he was building vehicle equity. But neither guy actually sat down and calculated the costs past month 1. The actual danger here is not leasing, nor is it buying. The real trap is making a $30,000 choice based entirely on a monthly payment without tracking the lifetime cost over 5 or 10 years. Now, if you plan to skip financing altogether and just drop cash up front, that is a totally different topic. And the outcome might actually surprise you. For now, next time a dealer slides a tempting monthly payment across the desk, you and I need to stop and ask one simple question. What does this really cost me in the end? Because honestly, that is the only metric that matters.